Welcome. This is the All or Nothing Show. And we got a whole pile of people in here today. It is Cinco de Mayo, guys. We're going to start this one off with some margs.
Some
frozen
questionable
margs.
margaritas.
I don't know how they're going to go down.
Cheers. They tightened up a little bit.
I think it's like the mezcal, though. It's a different flavor. Like, if you smell it, like, it smells like that.
Yeah.
Is that like smoky?
I think that's what's throwing me off.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
So we used mezcal instead of regular tequila, which, because Austin's wife, Sarah, got it.
And she was like, oh, y'all should try it. Because obviously she bought it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's not like the burn of tequila, though, which I do like, and I can understand what you meant by
Yeah,
that.
it was smoother. I forgot, I said, I don't really listen.
Well, they say, like, because you know how big Patron is, and they're like, Patron's the best or whatever, but if you look at the, like, what is in Patron, it's not 100% agave.
Yeah, I never looked.
But it's like, you know, top notch.
Yeah.
Whatever, top shelf.
What's that other one? Not Patron. Not the
1800?
We got a dot. Don Julio, maybe. It's like $150 a bottle type deal. Yeah, something stupid. Yeah, it's the last tequila I had.
Bunch of shit.
I didn't buy it, but
Is it Migos? Migos?
Oh, yeah.
Migos?
I've seen that one.
Migos?
is that from the rappers?
I'm not sure. I know it's expensive as well when you go out. So.
Yeah.
I never say it right, but Espolón is what we have. Espolón is what we have at home.
Nice.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds fancy.
I'm really, truly not picky when it comes to tequila. As long as I have a lime and some salt, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean that's what makes a margarita at least is like the flavor, like the flavoring. You know, and the salt and the lime and shit. You know, the tequila. Yeah, they could put whiskey in it probably, and I wouldn't notice. Oh, they probably, but you know,
Too far.
this guy.
Was it
So, have you ever had
the Christmas banger, the TNS banger?
Yeah.
Is that what they ran out of tequila because they were making margaritas and they started using vodka?
Yeah.
And I was still crushing those things.
It still tastes great.
I got
vodka can go almost in
shit-faced.
anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, it is what it is, but I feel like vodka, you can almost mix anything.
Very versatile.
When I was trying to watch when I go out, like, you know, I'm not trying to drink like heavy whatever. And so I used to drink vodka waters and people were like so disgusted with me about it. And it really is like a vodka with water.
Yeah.
And
Can
like,
I turn this TV off? That's what I was listening to that
shoot.
one. I'll be
Yeah,
right
we
back.
can turn it off.
Yeah, keep talking.
I forgot it was on. No, but like I would always have to have like a lime and lemon with mine or like an orange slice or something. But it was because I was watching my calories.
That's what my neighbor has. So
Yeah.
My neighbor behind me, we always talk at the fence, and she's always got.
That
like,
is
a
so
vodka
cute.
water.
Oh my gosh. I want neighbors I could talk on the fence with.
When we went to Barbados, the drinks next door at the bar were $1.50 a pop,
Jeez.
like US dollars.
Shit.
And so we were getting pineapple juice and rum.
Yeah.
And it was killer. It was so good. It was the best thing ever. $1.50, and we were hammering them things down.
That's wild.
all day.
And that's the greatest thing. It's obviously down south, right? Barbados is
It's
South
like
America,
as far south
Central.
in the Caribbean as you can get, yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, when we went, me and my wife Sarah, we went to Cuba. We did this. Well, a few spots are like this up and down the road. Like you pull off the highway, and they have these like mixed drink stop. Where you're not supposed to drink and drive, but like people just pull off and have a drink though. Like it's for real.
Wow.
And you pull up, you pay like $1, $2. They give you a coconut that's fresh cut, and then they pass you the bottle of rum, and you pour your own rum. So like, there's no like limit. There's no. It's like they have like 8 bottles of rum. You just grab one, mix your
So
drink.
do they just charge you for
The coconut. You buy the coconut, the rum. You pour the rum in it yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They literally give away alcohol in the islands. Like they do not.
They know when people get a little tipsy, they start spending a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
So,
How many coconuts you buying?
because I know, like, I'm pretty sure in Mexico, the last time I went was Cancun, but they, like, you go into like stores and stuff, and they just give you shots of tequila for free. They just walk in, they're like, here you go, like a tray, just welcoming you into the store.
That's like the perfect like mint though, you know? Like you give that little cherry
and it's not like huge shots, whatever. It's like a little tiny plastic cup, but it's a shot of tequila.
It gets you in a vibe. You're like, oh shit.
For
All right, let's
sure.
go. Let's keep this going.
Yeah.
Let's buy some.
I mean, it's warm outside. You're feeling good.
Yeah.
I mean, the more
Damn.
tequila, the more I'm going to spend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, these nice people. It's not like that in the U.S. So, like, you go there and you're like, these people are so nice. Like, I'm definitely going to spend some money in this store.
I mean, how much are you going to pay for a drink here? at
Right.
a restaurant.
It's been a while, but I would assume $10 plus easy.
I think they're about 14 now.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're so expensive.
Yeah, we were paying $1.50 in Barbados.
I mean, you go to like a Squirrels game, it's probably like $14 for like a tall beer. Yeah.
Tall beer, yeah.
Crazy.
Well, not that this show is all about is a liquor show.
It can be.
Honestly, I mean, Cinco de Mayo, so we're having a good time.
Right.
But Peggy, she is on here today. She's one of our special guests, and would love to dive into your fitness, which I think a lot of people, even after I posted that, a lot of people DM me like, "Yo, how long has she been lifting? Where does she train? You know, blah blah blah." After I posted that video that we collaborated on, to talk, because the people that are watching don't know what we're talking about, but to get into like, how long have you been working out, and sort of what are your goals as you move into, you had mentioned the last time we were together that you wanted to start with your fitness, reaching out to women and empowering women, and sort of your future goals or vision with that. But first off, how did you get into fitness, and how long ago?
So I've been working out for probably a decade.
That's what I told people.
Yeah, I likely ruined or delayed the first 3 or 4 years because I listened to the wrong people or did it for all the wrong reasons. But once I came around to the fact that the way it made me feel and the confidence I was able to build by working on myself, I was really hooked. And from there, the results just kind of happened naturally. And when people ask me, I always get a little like stumbled with my words because I didn't really pay attention. I just did it.
Yeah.
And I just did what felt good for me and what I enjoyed. And from there, it just really like took off. So I don't have like a secret answer or like a go-to like answer that when people ask me. But overall, I think the key for me was just figuring out what it was that I liked about it. Like, what would I enjoy? What did I want out of it? Instead of like, what did I see on social media, or what was someone else doing? You know?
Did you start by like doing like watching videos, or like did you have a trainer, or?
No, I've never had a trainer.
You just like walked in and you were like, all right, I'm going to start using these machines?
Well, so my husband, I had just started dating him, and he worked out like 3 hours a day and was this beefy guy when we first started dating. And so I would go and walk on the treadmill. And at first I thought cardio was like the way to go, right? Like I was always on the treadmill and I would like watch him. And then it was just one day I was like, I want to go lift weights. I want to do something. And I started out just lifting like 5-pound, 10-pound dumbbells. And my form was probably awful. I didn't have anyone to tell me anything different.
Start somewhere.
So, but I mean, it probably, I don't know how many times I quit for a couple weeks because the results just didn't come like I thought they would. I mean, you hear that 6 weeks of doing this and you can look like me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, every 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I'm like, well, I ain't looking like that. So this ain't working.
Yeah.
And
No, I
I would
get
quit
that.
for a couple weeks. But in that couple of weeks, what I realized every time I did it was that I always felt better when I was doing it. So it really didn't come down to like how I wanted to look. It came down to how I was feeling.
Yeah.
So I would just go back and I would just keep kicking my own butt, and it just expanded from there. But I have tried everything from CrossFit to boot camp classes to just lifting on my own, more cardio, hit workouts, things like that. Just figured out what I liked, and I didn't know that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like when I tried different things and was like going to classes or just working out on my own, or I mean, I just did it, and whatever felt good, I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
So
And 10 years ago was like so different than now. Like now you have it on your phone. Like you can literally pay like a certain amount of money a month and like have somebody on your phone just like train you. Or like they have Nike videos on Netflix and stuff like that. And I mean, like it's just at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to go into a gym.
I think it's pretty cool that you mentioned that like you've tried everything. You've dabbled in everything, at least, you didn't really know what you were doing when you started, which no one really does, and you just jump in and just figure it out as you go. But the reason that it's, you've had 10 years and you still do it, it's that saying, and I'm probably going to butcher it, is the person who likes to walk is going to get more result than the person that likes the end result. Do you know what I'm saying? I think I'm butchering that, but like the person that likes, the person that enjoys walking is always going to walk further than the person that's just working for, a particular thing. You know? So you enjoy lifting. You show up every day, you do it, and you do the things you enjoy while you're lifting, and the results come because of that, not because you're a competitor or you're training for bodybuilding or powerlifting, CrossFit, whatever. You just enjoy lifting, you show up, and the results come because you enjoy what you do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people want to box themselves in sometimes and or, follow a particular training. Oh, I only do bodybuilding, or oh, I only do powerlifting. When you can do a little bit of everything and still get great results.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I actually recommend that. I mean, I could have cut off, like I said, 3 or 4 years of time, and I could have been where I'm at now 3 years ago if I had just started out with what I would enjoy and what I liked. But instead I got distracted by other things. But I tell people all the time, if you can focus in on what it is you enjoy and what your goal is, it's different for everybody, then you will get results quicker and you will find like what works best for you a lot quicker than most people.
Yeah. Because I mean, even I'm sure over those 10 years you've evolved. Like I feel like I have, and Jake, and we started off bodybuilding, but now I don't care if I bodybuild. Some days I'll go in and I'll do hit circuits, or some days I'll just ride the bike.
Yeah.
I just I feel like I've grown the most, and I don't know if I per se look the best, but I felt the best, and I feel like I've performed my best, and I don't know, I feel optimal per se as a human being now that I've sort of opened my doors to not focusing or putting myself in a box like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
What about over the past 10 years? You've obviously, I think I've had people mention this, and not particularly towards you, but just in general, a lot of females that I've either worked with training and or just hit me up because they know I train. It's like, well, I don't want to work out too hard, or I don't want to lift the heavy weights because I don't want to get buff, or I don't want to get jacked.
I don't want to get too
now-
big
now-
of a yeah, gosh,
With me saying
it
that,
pisses me off.
over 10 years, a lot of chicks have obviously, when I say a lot, like people have reached out saying, oh man, she looks jacked, blah, blah, blah. Where did she train? What did she train? Blah, blah, blah. And would you say, oh, it's just easy? That muscle just came on. Your shape just came on. Your figure just.
No, nothing's ever
The
easy.
heavyweight, yeah. So
that shit doesn't happen by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
so many people that I train or either I talk to, especially female, are like, nah, I don't want to get too big. I don't want my neck to get too big, or I don't want my waist to get too big, or I don't want to get all bulky. It's like that's an insult, to chicks that are really trying and like, or that have and look great, and they're like, oh, it's just, I'm going to lift a couple heavy weights and look like you. Hell no.
No, never.
Jeez.
And there takes a lot more between nutrition and some other things to get truly jacked, I would say. It's sometimes stuff that's not like necessarily natural, right? And I've had so many people ask me, like,
So you're not natural.
I am natural.
I'm just kidding.
I get that all the time. And that one is more of an insult to me. And it's not because I think people who do use things that help with progress is bad. I think there's a right way to use them. But for me and my journey and what I take pride in is that I have never used anything to fasten the results, right? Like I've never done fat burners. I've never done weird supplements. Obviously, I only use Gym Flow, Overcome, and Pump.
That's not an ad, guys. Not an ad.
It is the best.
Let me get you closer now that you're talking about Gym Flow.
Turn that mic on.
But yeah, I haven't used anything like that ever. And so when people have said things, and it just, that irritates me the most because I do know how hard I've worked to get to where I am, and it's not easy. But I had a mentor one time on a different topic, but he was like, why do you think you deserve this like abundant life you keep saying you want? And I was like, because I work hard.
Yeah.
He's like, why is it gotta be hard? Like, shit, I don't know. Like, you tell me. Everybody says hard work pays off. I've been living my life by that.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, it doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. It just depends on how you look at it, right? And so I won't say it was easy to get to where I am, obviously. But as soon as I stopped looking at everything as it had to be hard for it to be worth it, it became easier.
Yeah.
And I think that is like one of the key components to my success so far in all areas of my life, is that I stopped letting these things that happened in my past condition me to be a type of human. And I started digging deeper to like, what does Peggy want from this? What does Peggy like about that? Yeah. Instead of what did my friend when I was younger do that made me go, oh, I might want to do that? Or like, where is it internally, intuitively? Where is it like aligning with me and who I am and what I want? And that goes with fitness, career, work, relationships, kids, family, whatever.
Yeah.
And that, I get it too, though. Like, I still feel like I'm in that like journey, especially with lifting or exercising. Like, what do I want to do? What makes me feel good? Which obviously I pick and choose that now with, training outside of the bodybuilding aspect that I've used to be in. I still like to train that way, but it's cool to hear and sort of reflect after you just said that, like how you do evolve, and you find out like what you want and what, I don't know. It's really cool to hear that.
Well, if we think about it, we're not taught growing up. We're not taught a lot of the things that we come across in our 30s and 40s and 50s. And so when you evolve and you start opening up your mind to these other concepts that aren't normal, you can't help but to ask, like, well, what is it that I want?
Yeah.
We live to please other people, and we live to like get these careers or these like degrees or whatever that society has like pressured us to do, get married, have kids, do all the things. When you start to question it, like there's no way around. You have to ask, like, oh, I'm questioning it now. Like, what do I want? Like,
yeah. And I heard, getting on sort of that same realm is like, I forgot who I heard say it, but somebody was talking about like dreaming, and like, I was like, and they dug a little deeper than that. I was like, I don't think I've ever, like, I guess maybe when I was a kid, when you say, oh, dream would be of like an astronaut or a firefighter or something like that, which I don't want to say that that's like, oh, that's far-fetched or whatever, because you can do what you want, but it's like, when's the last time you've actually like dreamed about doing something, or like dreamed, what your next 5 years would be like, or 10 years would be like, or what do you truly want to do? Do you want to just, just show up every day? And which I don't think I'm living my life that way yet.
Yeah.
To the 100% fullest of like, oh man, I'm like dreaming every day. I'm pursuing these big things, but at the same time, I do have that in the back of my head some days where I'm like, damn, I'm not thinking big enough sometimes, and it also takes action too. So it's a learning to, allow my head to think bigger than what I'm doing, what I currently am, but also realizing, hey, you also got to take that first step to, either get towards those big goals, whether it be outside of fitness, your life, relationships, whatever. And I just thought it was wild when you say just dream. I was like, man, it's so simple to say, but I don't know how to dream, like everybody, you get desensitized. Like, I mean, think about it, like dream, like you can be whatever you want to be. What do you want to do? And it's like, well, I don't truly know what I want to do. And it's like, shit, how do you dream? Like, it's like you lose that, I guess, over time. You just fall into the monotony of life, and it can happen.
Well, I think too, like growing up, at least when we were younger, like certain jobs and stuff like just weren't really like talked about. It was like, you're gonna be a doctor or
to school first.
Accountant. No, for sure. Like you got to go to college. Like that was always
getting that debt.
That was always and I went to college and I'm in debt, and luckily I did get a degree in art, which I do drawings and stuff for. Hey, if you guys want to draw, I'm just kidding.
No, I really do need you to draw my dog.
I was just thinking, I was like, I bet Peggy would want me to draw her dog. But anyways,
listen, if you do, check it out. I'm going to throw her Instagram and social media down in the description. It's really good drawings.
Yeah, it's pretty in pencil. But yeah, I do like drawings of cats, dogs, animals, people, whatever. And luckily I learned so much in college with that. But I took business management classes as a business management major for over 3.5 years. So, and then I switched it to art. So I lost so many credits, had to take more years in school. And like, I wish I would have just done that off the bat, but that wasn't something that you could do like personally. Like that wasn't like a career. So growing up, like I never knew like, oh, I should go to like art school. Like I never even thought about that.
Yeah.
So I think that's so different now too. Like now you can be an influencer on social media. That's a career. And like, that wasn't something that we had back. We didn't have social media. So it's like, I don't know, maybe things are starting to change. I think maybe like when we raised Reese, like we're definitely not going to like push college on her. He never went to college and I did. And he was making a lot more money at a younger age than I was. So,
get her on the TikTok and OnlyFans. She'll be good.
Uncle Austin.
There'll be some rules, right?
Feet only. Yeah, feet only.
No.
Damn, that's pretty good.
But yeah, that just like wasn't a thing. But yeah, I loved college. It was a great experience. Don't get me wrong.
Where'd you go?
Radford.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I had a lot of independence at a young age, and it was wild, but.
Real well.
Wild.
Yeah. I went to a couple of parties.
Real.
They're crazy.
It was
They
wild.
are nuts.
Yeah, it was like a free for all, but I mean, you literally just like walk up on people's porches and they'd be like, "Yeah, come in for a keg bar," and you don't even know who they are. I mean, that is wild to think about. And like, if Reese ever tried to do that, now I'd be like, absolutely not. But
yeah, a lot of the shit. I didn't see like anything wild or like bad, but like there was a lot of just wildness.
Yeah.
Even 10, 12 years ago when I didn't go to tech, but I went to tech to party. And
Yeah.
same thing. Like
Dude, it was
just like
always
holy shit,
wild up
man.
there. I had a blast at
Holy
Radford
shit.
and Tech every time I went.
yeah, I mean, it's just a bunch of people your age drinking and like having a good time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's crazy to me. I honestly feel like people shouldn't be able to go to college until they're at least 24. I mean,
I was
like,
gonna say that. I don't think people know at 18
Yeah.
what they might even want to do, and I feel like it takes a little bit of time and experience before you can like really even know a little bit about that. But I mean, can we talk about the club days, like cha-chas, off the hookah,
tobacco.
tequilas? Come on now.
yeah, I mean, crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, those were the days. I'm not gonna lie.
I have this off-side note. I think it's funny, a funny story, and it's always cool to bring back up. But Jake and I went to Off the Hookah one night. I think it was Off the Hookah, where the car lot, or it's CarMax or whatever it used to be. It's like 2 levels to it. It had a basement
It
and
was
an upper
off
deck.
the hookah.
But
Off the Hookah?
we went to
Yeah.
Off the Hookah one night, and I don't know how, we didn't even like talk how we were going to get home, but I drove. I think we were going to get Uber, maybe like sleep in the car. I don't remember.
I think I drove and I parked in a parking deck.
Yeah. Well, anyways, long night, lots of drinks, and
Lots.
I don't remember how it ended, except I woke up. Well, I was like in and out as I was paying a homeless man $60, $60, everything out of my pockets to walk me like 3 blocks to where Nicole, our sister, used to live, where she did not live, but I just remember that she used to live there. And then I also then got a taxi from there. What I could have gotten a taxi from Off the Hookah to go to my apartment in Mechanicsville.
You had to get your bearings straight, you know?
Yeah, so I paid a homeless man $60 to walk me like 3 blocks to a place to get a taxi when I could have gotten a taxi there.
I know. I remember I woke up in my truck in the parking deck, and you weren't around. I don't know what happened. We got split up somehow.
I
and
got
that's-
a taxi home.
yeah.
Yeah.
He got escorted to
Yeah,
a certain
got-
spot.
Yeah.
Good times.
Very.
That was. But so what is your goals with, I know we talked a little bit, maybe you can start from scratch. You have some big goals with fitness now that you've been in it for over a decade, figuring out how it's fit into your life and made your life for the better, giving you some great habits and discipline. Are you going to be turning that into something to where you're, building a brand out of it, it sounds like, or a business to where you're going to be able to help other, like-minded women that maybe need some structure or discipline in their lives or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I have somewhat of a vision. It changes and evolves throughout the day, but I would like to combine all of my passions, travel, fitness, health, nutrition, mindset. I'd like to combine them all, and it would be really cool to host retreats for women who are interested in all of these topics and hold, sessions at these retreats, usually on beautiful islands. That would be what I prefer. But
For sure. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Yep, to talk about these things and then to work out together and to, grow with each other. So everything I do is absolutely with that intention to make an impact and to inspire. I don't like the word influence or
Yeah.
I go for the inspire word because
Yeah.
for me, my job and my intention's never to like influence someone to do what I'm doing. It's to inspire someone to find what works best for them so that they can be their best version. But yeah, hopefully this will all kind of come together full circle and I'll be able to offer a lot more of experience through travel, adventure, health, fitness, mindset. It really kind of all goes together.
It's parallel for sure. Though we can't have one without the other. I'm sure you can be successful in business but like be out of shape. But are you truly fulfilling your life and maybe those around you, inspiring, living by example, whether you have family, friends, whatever, children, letting yourself go, but obviously maybe crushing in business or not, or maybe that's what's holding you back is because you just lack discipline and everything.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And I think when you mentioned not being an influencer and sort of inspiring, you're already obviously doing that now, just being an example. And it's something I have it written at the office, but I try and I don't like read it religiously, like affirmations or something like that every day, but I'll see it and it'll spark,
In the mirror.
when I will say, and it's like on a real note, like when I talk myself out of doing these hard ass rides all the time. I'll talk myself out of working out, like everybody does. But I'll see this and it says you're only as good as the example you set. You can talk shit all day. Your talk is cheap. Are you the example? Are you leading by example? You can talk, but like people are watching. If you bullshit yourself out of something, then you aren't shit. You know? So you're only as good as the example you set, and I think that goes for you as well. You are, you know, living the lifestyle. You are not just talking, but you're also the example that people should live by, but people should find inspiration out of.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of traveling, where are you going next?
Actually, less than 2 weeks, we'll go back to St. John, my husband and I. So
Man,
I'm excited. We go there every year, sometimes twice a year. So
Peggy travels all the time, and it's just makes me.
It's nice to see online.
nice to see you online.
Yeah.
I watch on Instagram, and it's the closest.
We live vicariously
to
through
beach.
Peggy.
Yeah.
When you
You guys are welcome to join in.
do you have like particular amounts of times you like to travel, or particular like seasons that you travel? You just sort of like, all right, we're just this year we have this many lined up, or it's like, oh, only in the winter we travel here.
No, I mean, when I sat down at the end of December, beginning of January, and said it's time to look at this year and do what I want, I said I'm traveling somewhere once a month, and that's what I've been doing. It's worked out actually. My husband only gets 2 weeks of PTO. So we get creative doing like extended weekend things together here and there. But I do love to travel with girlfriends. I do retreats and try to travel with some other friends and things like that. I also have a goal of traveling solo this year. It seems every time I plan a solo trip, my husband's like, okay, I'll go. I'll make it work with work. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, I mean, that's
like
my
something you would
goal is to travel like at least once a month this year. And it doesn't have to be something extravagant. So when you say travel like in an extravagant way, like somewhere international or like across the country or something like that, my goal is at least 3 to 4 times a year. But ultimately I'd like to do that more too. So long term, we're talking big stuff. So
oh yeah. What's out of all the trips, let's say internationally, where's your like top pick that you've been to?
That's so tough, but I would have to say Bermuda is definitely at the top.
Yeah.
I did not get to go to Bermuda for the last few years, just COVID stuff. And so we've been going to St. John a lot because St. John's a USVI. It's a United States Virgin Island. It didn't have as many restrictions during COVID, and you don't even need a passport to travel there. I shouldn't be telling you this because I don't want it to get busy.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, don't go there. But other than that, I would say Maldives and French Polynesia were like really amazing trips. Yeah.
That's like the hut shit, right? On the water?
Both of them were over water bungalows.
Damn. Yeah, the
With
Maldives.
glass floors.
That's awesome.
Damn, I'm trying to think. Maldives and Bora Bora. That's
Bora
one,
Bora.
right?
That's where we stayed.
Yeah.
Well, so when we went to French Polynesia, we actually hopped around 7 different islands. It was like so magical.
Yeah.
Each one was so very different. Like I definitely recommend when you go out and travel somewhere like that. Like that was my only regret with Maldives. We stayed on one tiny little island for our entire 11 days, and I almost wish we would have just split it and gone like 2 different places.
Yeah.
So French Polynesia, we went to 7 different islands, and it was just truly an experience and an adventure. And every time I travel, it's funny when friends travel with us, I always give them the heads up, guys, we're going out, we're going to explore, we're going to hike, we're going to adventure, snorkel.
We're not going to sit by the pool all day, every day.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the days.
Yeah.
I can give up one day for that. But we definitely like go all over the island and explore and things like that. And some of my friends aren't all for it, but some of them are. So, and that's fine. I tell people who come to me about travel advice all the time, I'm like, what do you want, right? Because if you want the all-inclusive resort and you don't want to have to worry about a rental or going out or doing anything, absolutely, I understand that. Like, we can figure that out, no big deal. But if you want to explore and see the island and, you know, get the culture and do all the things, you know, then that means picking a really good place.
I mean, if you're spending that much money to go over there, you might as well do it. You know, like that's and I can understand like the intimidation factor is like, it's a country you don't know. Like it's things that you're not comfortable with, but like those can be like the best trips.
Honestly.
And so, and like, that's another thing that I feel like people, when you're younger too, like my parents like never traveled and like took us places. Like my stepdad he used to work for a nuclear power plant, and it was the main one was based in Paris. So like he would fly all Japan, like he would go all over the place, but like me personally, like I never, and my parents, they're not going to pay all this money for take their kids too, which is like, I get it. It's expensive, but, and you know, it's not a vacation when you have kids with you. I get that. We traveled with a 2-month-old to the lake, and like it was so much.
Yeah, the week we spent on vacation last summer with the 2-month-old was no vacation. Gosh.
Which 2 months is really little, but like just in general, you can like enjoy it as much. But that's also
this
like
should be better.
Growing up, it wasn't like you're like, I hope you have an inspiration to travel. Like that wasn't really. It was like, go somewhere, like meet somebody, have a house and a family, and like that's it. Like nobody ever talked about it really. I don't know, unless it was talked about in your house. I don't know, but it wasn't talked about in ours.
No, our dad used to. He still tries to go. He goes to Virginia Beach every year, the same hotel down there.
Don't switch it up.
By the where the fishing boats come in, and they go down there. They used to go down there every single year. So that's what we have in our family.
Yeah.
Speaking of dreams and growing up, not to get like too deep or emotional on you guys, but this is something I usually don't talk about, so I'm going to throw it out there. I grew up in the state foster care system, and I say state because that meant somebody who didn't want me got me. And my brother, we were together for the first like 11 years of my life. He's 4 years older than me. But when you talked about the fact that like you didn't know about dreaming or how to dream.
No.
When I was asked at a retreat last year, I went to, you know, what did you dream when you were a kid? What did you dream about? Like, that's what I want you to shoot for. That's what she was telling us, like, go for that. And I was like, I never had permission to dream. I didn't even know life existed on the other side. Like, when we talk abuse and neglect and every form of all of the trauma, that's what my brother and I went through. And I just can't remember ever thinking I had an actual chance at life. And so when my brother turned 18, he got custody of me. And I remember, you guys, this is not to get like emotional and spiritual, but I remember looking up at the sky, and I'd never been taught about God or spiritual stuff at all. And I remember looking up and just being like, thank you. However that happened, thank you. And I think that was probably the first moment in my life where I was like, I gotta do something better. I gotta do something like bigger.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I mean, I was just created that way. People, I'm the statistic. 2% people make it out of the foster care system and do something with their life. 2%. And that's my goal for every area of my life now, is I want to be in the top 2%. Top 2% financially, health-wise, you know, everything. And so I always look back at that, and I don't know what it was. People ask all the time, like, how did you do it? Or like, I, again, don't have anything specific. But I think it's a mindset thing. And I think once you experience trauma and you go through really deep like things like that, you either have a choice to follow what it is you know of, what you've seen and what you've experienced, or to try to go the opposite way because it's not something that you want. And I guess that's kind of where I was when I was picking paths. But yeah, I didn't know how to dream either. So at 34 years old, I finally told myself, you have permission to dream. It was actually last year, so I was 33. And I sat down and I wrote out like what was my dream, like what really honestly seemed dreamy to me. I still haven't like narrowed that down like you. I struggle with that. But only because like what we see on TV and what we hear about as dreamy still gets in there. Sometimes I'm like, I could live on an island and I could take my dog and we could just swim every day. And then I go, okay, well, let me bring it back. Like, what do I really care and love, right? Like, I don't want to just go live on an island by myself, like, right? Yeah. So I want to include the people I love, my husband and my dog, and like, what can we do together that's impactful? That's dreamy, right? So sometimes you have to take yourself out of the movie, right?
That's, I think because when I first heard that statement, dreaming and like, what do you dream about, stuff like that, it's like, all of it was like material, like cars, house, but like I couldn't think past that because like it's like movie-esque. It's like, I want the nice car, you know, the badass house, or like, you know, business properties, whatever. And it's like, well, I don't think that's exactly, which I think are good things. They're great like motivators and like things to shoot for, because if obviously you're able to bring that into your life, you're doing something right. But I just still can't like pinpoint sort of if that's right, you know. I don't know. It seems very blurry, like murky when you say like dream. It's like, all right, well, where do I start? Do I start with like a spider web and like do the thing, like things? Like I just wouldn't know. So
I feel like I'm in the same boat with you on that. It's just like I have no idea. Like growing up, I mean, I remember going through high school and everything, and I just I wanted to be a mechanic. That wasn't like a dream.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do because I like working on cars. But then now I'm 38. I don't work on cars, and I don't know what I would dream about.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Now I've got a little family, so that's my. I don't know if it's a dream, but it's more like a goal where I just have to show up every day and make and try. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything before.
Dream ranch.
I remember when
whatever.
Jake told me he was having a baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was definitely. It wasn't expected, but no. So now I'm, my goal is to
New dreams.
take care of us.
Yeah.
So that's
Which, I mean, it can always evolve, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think you ever have to be stuck
Well, I
like
think
with
I-
one thing.
Yeah.
I
But
feel like I should still
well, yeah,
dream,
you should.
though.
You
So,
should,
like,
and at least allow yourself to think about it.
I dream every day of being on the golf course.
Hey, that's
There
a
you go.
dream, though.
It is.
It is. How
Yeah.
could you factor in, like, how much golf time would you want to have in your life?
Yeah.
Keeping in mind that your family's priority, right?
Yeah.
So, like, how many days would you like to go golfing, dreamy wise?
7.
Every day?
Oh, every day.
Okay. So then
Oh,
where
5 days a
could
week.
you live where you would have the ability to go to an awesome, amazing, gorgeous golf course to go play golfing on? What kind of salary, what kind of income, what kind of business, what kind of career?
Probably a lot more than I make now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what stops people from dreaming.
Yeah.
Right there, the money piece is immediately why people stop dreaming. Because I would need this amount of money.
Oh
and
yeah,
that's,
of course, yeah.
So let's change it to something
Impossible.
more realistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you bring yourself down.
Yeah.
You make your little itty bitty goals and you're back in that box,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? And so I agree that money is one of the biggest issues in society and in our lives that do stop us from going big, right? We go home instead. But I mean, in reality, money is important, but it isn't the main thing. And we can all be rich and wealthy and live an abundant life on the money that we have right now, if we choose to.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And I think when we talk abundance, when we talk money, or when we talk rich, it's not just about bank accounts. It's not just about money. It's about family. It's about, like, so that was the piece I was going to bring in earlier when we were talking about dreams. We all struggle with our dream, right? So then when you know that, you take a step back and you go, what's my top 3 to 5 values? Like, what are the top 3 to 5 values that you have? Because if you can narrow those things down, those are the things you're going to include in your dream. And then that dream actually does become a little more, like, clear.
Yeah, now you have
Yeah.
some like pinpoints
Yeah.
or bullet points
Yeah.
to like base your actions over, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get it too. Like monetarily, that isn't like shouldn't be the main dream. It doesn't have to be. Finding happiness or gratitude or I guess purpose in
Purpose.
what you have, obviously. But I guess if you wanted to play golf that many times a day or not day week, I'm sure multiple
Don't have
times.
day. Don't have day. Okay.
Morning and dinner.
That's right.
But anything like that,
I didn't know that was an option. But
I think it takes. All right, now I think where you're going, and it just sort of clicks a little bit in my head is like, all right, well, you have to make a little bit more if you wanted to be there. Well, all right, well, how do we make that more? Like figuring out, I guess, what the goal is, that like the macro goal, and backwards planning on how to get there.
yeah.
Like,
10 years and then backtrack.
all right, well, yeah, it's always, it's,
10 years is good.
yeah, it always,
Get back in your box.
yeah.
It's okay. Just act like she didn't say it, okay? Take it back.
Well, anyways, yeah, I like that though. I like the part of just not really having it to be about money, which money makes the world go round, makes things a lot easier.
Right.
It does make life a little easier, but I think a lot of people do overlook what they already have and what going back to what makes them happy. Whether it's the lifting, the little activities and decisions that you do throughout your day, where you have like the inner peace of like, man, I'm taking care of myself, no matter how like bad I guess the world is going to shit, like shit you can't control, other people's and shit. Like, all right, well at least I'm taking care of me, I'm taking care of mine, and we're good, right?
Yeah.
We have tomorrow's a fresh day to try and push the limit, again. So that's real cool.
Yeah. So I heard this mentor of mine speak one time. She said, your circumstances create your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings create your actions create your results. So although we may not always have control over our circumstances, we do have control over our thoughts, right? And then from there, it just trickles down. And over time, just always remember, too, you never know who you're going to meet. So just by being you, and when you're in the gym or you're, doing your job or you're getting together with friends or whatever, you never know who you're going to meet that could change your life like that. And I've had a couple mentors in my life in the last year that have truly flipped my world upside down just by changing little simple things in the way I think and how, so I'll give an example. If your circumstances at your boss is crappy or work is just shitty, right? Mm-hmm. Then your thought around that is going to be, man, work's going to suck today.
Yeah, negative.
Yep, negative. Then you're feeling, I'm miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Now that feeling turns into your actions, shitty attitude.
Yeah.
All the lack of,
Yeah.
And then what are your results? Stuck at a crappy job. But if you're in that crappy job and your thought is, I'm thankful I have a job, let me make the most of it today. Maybe I can do something extra today to add some value to prove to them that I can do ABC, and someone else might see it and then offer you a job, or someone else then recommends you to someone else. You just never know where that goes. And I think it's in the little details of each and every day where our thoughts, where we can control our thoughts. We may not always control our environments or our circumstances, although I do think in a larger picture we can, and we do have more control there than we think we do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But our thoughts, I think, are key to that. And over time, it breaks down in your actions, and then that creates your results. It's the same concept with when you're working out at the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Some of my clients that have a tough time with, trying to lose weight or whatever, they say, oh, well, I'm busy, work, homework, blah, 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 stress, which I get it. Everybody's got it.
Yeah.
Everybody, and it's in different forms. But, at the end of the day, I keep reminding, just like every night, I'm not perfect. And I explain that to everybody, especially with their goals. It's like, hey, this is a long game. You just have to be consistent. You don't have to be perfect. You can live life, but you just have to be consistent every day with those actions. Those little right decisions, that we mentioned a while back. And, you are the one in control of your hands and what you do, what you put into your mouth, what you read, what you watch, what you listen to. So, and going back to, oh, I hate homework. Oh, I hate school. Now I'm pissed off. I need to eat. It snowballs into negative. That negative attitude snowballs into other negative decisions where you're just like, oh, screw it. I'm stressed. Food's going to turn it around for me. I don't know. It just snowballs into other bad negative things. But usually if you push through and at least try and accomplish something, whether it's eating something right or getting that little extra walk in or doing something to better you, it snowballs usually into, all right, well, I'm on a roll now. I'm feeling that much better about myself. I feel accomplished because I ate what I was supposed to, or I did that little walk when I didn't feel like it. Now I'm ready to crush whatever else is in front of me, the homework, the school work, whatever. Yeah. So I can see where that that one negative thought can throw cancer into the rest of your day.
Yeah. I think it too, when somebody goes to you to get fit or get healthier or whatever, and then you say things like, oh, well, I mean, you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to do this.
Yeah, I'm not holding your hand.
Yeah, right. It then turns into, you're not going to make this easy on me. And they feel that pressure and that, well, I have to be perfect. And I have to eat this amount every day. And I have to be consistent. I have to go. And it's I want the easy way out. And then you see these, ads or whatever, and it's
Easy's gotten you to where you are now.
Get fit doing whatever.
Actually, get fat, but truly.
But and it's but it's easy. The pills, hey, take this, and it just melts your fat away, and it's all this crazy stuff that people try to go into, and then they do these fads, these quick keto diets or whatever. I'm gonna fast for this amount, and then all of a sudden they stop doing that for a week, 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden there's no results at all, and then they're pissed, and then they're back doing the same thing. If they had have started then doing what they were told would do, if you do this and this, you're gonna get here, and it's gonna make you feel better. But it's well, I don't, can you just give me a shortcut kind of thing?
But I like to do it this way, or this is the way I've done it. This is what I like to eat. Well, it's
my friend Karen over here told me that she got skinny doing this, and it's okay, well,
Well, then why are you talking to me?
Right.
I think we need to just go ahead and throw it out there. Everybody's journey, their body, their lifestyles, their food It's all different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said it the other day. I was on Instagram talking. I always like to talk. I said, I could give you exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it will still turn out different for you.
For sure.
I think people just need, like, there's certain things you can do that will make it better, that will
Yeah.
give you a result, but it's the result that fits you.
Yeah.
And I think when people can fall in love with the journey of discovering themselves through fitness, health, nutrition, whatever,
Yeah.
like, that's where the secret is. It's actually not a secret, because I just
Yeah.
told you.
Yeah.
It's not a secret. Fall in love with yourself. Do it for yourself. Do it because of the way it makes you feel
Yeah.
and how it gives you the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
We build that relationship with ourselves when we stay loyal to ourselves. If we say we're going to start an 8-week program, do the 8-week program.
Yeah.
Give it full effort. Actually, let's talk about effort. I wanted to talk about that. How much do you guys think effort plays a part in, like, fitness results and life in general?
Pretty
100%.
big. Pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
If you
effort,
don't give any effort,
time.
then it's nothing
and
happens.
I'm not even talking like as effort as an intensity, but like effort as in like showing up every day and being like at least intentful, you know, not just going through the motions. And it doesn't have to be super intense, but at least intentful and making sure that you're showing up.
I agree. I tell people all the time, you want to go to the gym, go through the motions, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I actually cannot remember a workout that I've had, at least in the last 5 years, where I didn't leave feeling like I kicked my own ass. Let's be real. Like,
Yeah.
that's the effort I put in.
Yeah.
If you want results that are going to blow your mind, then you need to put in that kind of effort. I am talking intensity with that one,
Yeah.
I mean,
but I agree consistency, right?
you,
Like,
yeah, you get what you put in.
Yep, absolutely.
So like, if you half-ass it, you're getting half-ass
Half-ass
results. It's with everything. So that's,
Yeah, I agree. And I think too,
Effort
like
is
your
everything.
attitude going into it, like if somebody is like really upset and down and like not looking forward to it starting off, like that's a huge like you're not I feel like you're more likely to quit. Whereas if you go start into it like this is going to be great. My life's going to change. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to gain muscle. I'm going to be happier. I'm going to be able, like some people just being able to like walk upstairs and not feel winded or like you're gonna collapse. Like that could be a huge, just doing that. Like I remember I worked at this company and me and a few girls, we would walk up and down 7 flights of stairs 2 or 3 times. And like we were like a couple months in and I was like, I feel so much better. Yeah. Like I can get to this top of the steps 2, 3 times and not feel like I want to die.
Yeah.
And like that right there, it would help people so much. Just that is the kind of results I feel like somebody could really feel rather than be like, okay, well, I've been doing this for 6 weeks and like, I'm not skinny yet. So what's going on? Yeah. But like being able to like do stuff like that, I think is great. Having a positive attitude going into it instead of, I have to work out because I'm overweight or whatever.
What we said earlier, your circumstances create your thoughts. Mm-hmm. If your thoughts are, this workout's going to suck. Yeah. What do you think you're going to feel like?
Right. Yeah. You're not going to try as hard. The effort part is going to be gone. Like you're going to be like looking at the clock the whole time. I just can't wait to be done. Yeah. When I do a really good workout, I'm like, that was so good. Like,
yeah, afterwards it's worth it, no doubt. Yeah. Like during it, you might feel like you're dying.
Right.
But did you die though?
At the end of your workout, if you feel the exact same as when you started, you probably didn't do a very good workout. So, I mean, and sometimes those days do happen. You're just like, I'm going to keep moving my body. It might not be the best, but like, I'm going to get through it. And just doing that is great. But like, definitely the effort part, like you got to try. Like,
yeah, it just doesn't happen.
No. Imagine not putting effort into your marriage.
Yeah.
Or into your kids. Or into your job. Mm-hmm. Or anything.
And it does happen. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does happen. It's just, some people just, I get it. I mean, you know.
So you touched a lot on mindset. Let's talk mindset. Because I feel like, I think the big first step is mindset, right? If your head's not in the game, right? So how do you guys talk about mindset and give people guidance on that piece of it?
Mindset as in just like your fitness or what?
I like to talk about all of these topics across the board, but yes, fitness, fitness.
Well, I mean, I guess mindset for me is that, I guess it starts off when I think, if you were to say, all right, mindset, my mindset is what I said earlier. I want to be the example. I want to be the inspiration. Almost similar to what you talk about. That's sort of why I feel like I do try and show up and do these tough things that I truly... Do I love cycling? No, but like I'm doing it to get uncomfortable and hopefully maybe inspire others a little bit, you know, and I think it's good for me. And where that goes to mindset is like, I don't know. I don't want to just settle and be like, oh, I just want to go to the gym and just stay in my box, my bodybuilding box. Like, I don't know. I just want to start doing tough shit. And hopefully that bleeds into other things for other people. And not only that, but gives me more experiences to where I do maybe have that like one person that notices me doing something different, or I don't know. That
I definitely think it's like the why behind it. You know, like why do you want to do
that?
Oh,
for sure.
You know, like because if it's like a half-assed thing, like where you don't actually want to do it, then you're probably not gonna you know, into it.
For sure. Well, I guess with the cycling, maybe I do want to do it because I've been doing it a lot. But but I do.
But you have like an end goal of what you want to do.
No,
there's
a big goal for it.
And that's something that you want to do.
Yeah.
That is it.
And I will say, you know, not to talk all about the cycling, just for lifting too, lifting a heavy ass lift or a deadlift or squat that like, oh shit, man, I know it's going to hurt. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's probably going to kill me. Not literally, but like on the inside, just kill my soul. But you never regret, like, after you do something like that, whether it's the long run, the long ride, or that heavy lift, like, and you do it, and you're like, damn, I'm so glad I did that. Like, man, I feel like a killer now. I could walk through that wall, you know? Yeah. That's where, I don't know, that type of stuff keeps me coming back and, like, only brings my, I guess, mindset and sort of, I don't know, just way that I try and do most things is with that intent, like to, all right, let's get uncomfortable. Let's try and, I don't know, be an example.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mindset. I've got examples from work, like about having a positive, open mindset, because I don't talk to a lot of people in the gym anymore. I hardly lift anymore. I'm trying to get back into it. I really have been a lot better, except for this week. I started working nights again, so I only went once, but that's another story. But at work, like working around, like I do a lot of dumb shit sometimes at work. Like I don't know who the hell engineers this job or whatever, like, you know, goes and looks at the job over and then says, hey, we can get it done, like all you got to do is this and that. So we show up and it's a clusterfuck a lot of times. And working with some guys, they're like, oh man, hey, don't worry about it. Like they're super positive, open mindset. They're like, oh, sorry, we'll like it might be a pain in the ass, but like, yeah, we got it, like we'll figure it out. And then you got some guys who walk up immediately negative as fuck. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and it's contagious either way. So then it changes. If you start thinking that way, it's just how that whole procedure goes, and it's like
domino effect.
Yep.
It's crazy how much better it feels working with somebody who's got an open, positive mindset.
Likes doing what they do.
And and it's like, that's what popped into my head about the mindset thing. But yeah, it's crazy. It's really it's important.
I think that's why a lot of people say, you know, pick your circle, or make sure your circle is a variety of like who you want to be and who supported you, right? Like along the way, because it's an impactful thing to be around certain people who have that kind of outlook, right? Like people who are just so stuck where they are and don't really strive to go anywhere else and always looking for the easy way out or the quick fix. It makes it really hard on us, the ones of us that are always open-minded and really looking for the positive and the lesson and everything, right? We could go through hell, and I bet all of us right here would be like, what's the lesson in this? What can I get out of this to use to better me going forward, right? That's the mindset piece I was talking about when I'm in the gym or at work or traveling or anything. I always look at it as, what am I going to do in the gym or here that's going to make me a better person? What am I capable of, right? And like when I do go lift heavier, I'm like, huh, I was capable of that. Like it just hypes you up, right? Oh, when you're around people who just aren't out for that, it really does. It
drags you down. It sucks you into their
I agree.
Bullshit.
Well, now that you know Jake mentioned that and stuff, like the slogan "Keep Moving Forward." That's something that I would say a lot to myself when I was doing. You know, it started off with me going through a transformation contest, and I was like, damn, I don't feel like doing this cardio because I had 6 weeks to lose as much weight as I could. So every day, whether it was 5 p.m. or 9 p.m. or 10, I'd be like, all right, I gotta do my 30 minutes of cardio. I got to, like, because if not, it's that 6 weekends, I'm gonna look back and regret, like, oh shit, I didn't do that cardio that whole week because it was late. So that's when I was like, all right, I get on the bike and it would only be like 10 minutes in. I knew I had to do 30 minutes. I was like, all right, just keep pedaling, keep moving. And then it evolved into, you know, just everything else, you know, and relating to like, why the hell am I sort of riding that 100 miles? I'm doing it because I said I was going to do it, and I don't even know if I can do it. But
Yeah.
like for real,
I
like,
love that. I love that.
Like even Sarah, I mean, you can ask her. I was like, what the fuck are you saying to me? She told me earlier. She was like, I don't think she'd do it. She's like, are you ready?
That is so Sarah.
Yeah.
That is so
And I was like,
Sarah.
are you talking to me right now? I said, I'll see you when I get
Yeah,
back.
there you
Like, it was in our living room probably an hour before I came over here. She was like, you shouldn't go. You shouldn't do it. I was like, all right, well.
Doesn't that just fuel you up?
That's
though? Like,
motivation.
that-
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I know her, but like if somebody else would say that to me, I'm gonna let you eat those
Yeah.
words, you know.
You know what? Ride in your car next to me.
Yeah.
But and it's like I don't know stuff like that, and I haven't always been like that. I think it's just lately realizing that maybe it can come to a saying of like just tired of can't be a pussy all your life, you know, just doing tough stuff. And that's, for example, I just randomly one day was like, all right, I'm gonna ride 100 miles.
Yeah.
Something tough, something dumb. Who knows what I'll get out of it? I think I'm gonna figure out a lot during that ride of being like, what am I made of?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna test me. I even with the shorter rides, sometimes I have those inner dialogues or those inner talks where I'm like, fuck, dude,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
But then when I finish it, I'm like, dude,
You get to know yourself a lot better, don't you?
You're a fucking beast. First off, you know, whether or not, I'm sure there's 80-year-olds doing 30, 40-mile rides, but like you just feel like, you know, and internally, I don't know. That's my, I guess, I don't know how that relates to mindset a little bit, but that is how I've been attacking some things lately, is like, you know, jumping into shit that I don't know how to do. You know, for example, I did the Airbnb with my mom. I've never owned a property. That was my first property I've ever owned, you know, and just jumped into that. Didn't know what the hell I was doing with literally zero money almost, and just a ton of sweat equity, you know, just finishing what I say I'm going to do pretty much.
Yeah.
Impressive.
I think too, like, fear can stop so much. And like, once you, like, for a lot of situations, I feel like if you're scared to do something and you do it, after you do it, you're like, why was I so scared?
Yeah.
And like, but it's that fear. Like we were talked last podcast, like the fear of walking into a new gym sometimes, and like not even like you're scared, but like it's intimidating sometimes, and like that alone will stop somebody from doing it. And then, but if you do it and then you realize that was nobody's paying attention to me, I'm fine. Like I could have done this months ago, years ago. Like why didn't I just do it? But I do think like fear can be that big. Like I'm not gonna quit my job and get something new that I know will make me happy, because this is steady money that I know I can make, and I'm just gonna do it. Even if you are stuck and you hate it and you hate your boss and you hate whatever, but like
Change is hard.
change is really hard. Yeah.
Can you also say, like, I feel like, you know, I'm sure but all of us have had some instance where it's happened, but like, do you ever feel like, I'm going to, I guess, preface this a little bit, is like, when your back's against the wall, shit could be hitting the fan, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to figure a way out. Like,
I was just about
you're
to
gonna,
say
you're going to figure a way
that.
out. Like, whether it's switching, like finding a new career,
Yeah.
you'll figure it out. Us trying to figure out gym flow, we're gonna figure it out. You know, us trying to do whatever the hell we do.
Yeah.
It's like,
have a baby
as
and
long as
quit
you
your
just-
job. You're gonna figure it out.
I mean, dead seriously. Like,
Yeah.
you're unless you're just a quitter. Like,
I literally told Jake when we found out that we were pregnant, I was like, we're gonna figure it out.
yeah,
It's gonna be fine.
I was actually gonna say, you said fear can hold you back, like those little pieces of fear, right?
Yeah.
But if we look back on your life, when you were scared of something before you did it too,
Yeah.
every time you did do it though, didn't it always work out? Like
Yeah.
it always works out.
as long as you don't
Always
quit.
works out.
It always works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always something on the other side.
Yeah.
We always make the best of it, right?
Right.
And you just keep showing up. You know, that,
Keep showing up.
like, you can't. I mean, it's cliche, but like, you can't lose if you don't quit.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Right.
right?
Right.
No matter what position, whether you're at the very bottom or the very
Yeah.
top, as long as you just don't stop, you're gonna eventually
Yeah.
make it.
Like,
You know.
this new job could make you really happy, but if you don't ever try,
Yeah.
you know for sure you will still hate your job the next day if you stay in it. You could be so happy starting next Monday at a new job and be so happy with it, but like, it is so scary to do something like that. And I do understand like the holdback. Like, I know some people stay in careers that they hate for decades.
That's
And
a big
then,
fear.
You know, it's like changing a career is wild. Like,
Yeah.
I've done it before, and now like being a stay-at-home mom like is crazy. And like now I'm trying to draw at home and like raise a kid, and now we think about like okay, well, daycare. And I was like, our kid isn't vaccinated, so she's not going to be able to go into daycare.
Yeah.
So now we got to figure that out. And I'm like, am I going to be a stay-at-home mom for the rest of my life? Which I wouldn't mind, but like, it is something to like, I don't want to get stuck. Like you said, like, I do want to do things and like.
But you're already thinking about it, so that's like step one, right? Like most people are like, I guess this is what I got.
Yep, you're already creating.
I know,
these options in your head. And you know what's beautiful? You keep saying like career and jobs, and I do think that obviously in our society, most people are working a job. I call it a job because somebody had told me once it's just over broke.
Yeah, just over broke. But barely getting there.
Yeah. So how cool is it though, guys, that you don't need a job? You can do your own business. Mm-hmm. And in the world that we're in now with technology and social media, it can actually be a lot easier to do the things that we love doing and make money off of it. Mm-hmm. Just be creative. Yeah. So you have to add value, right? I think if you can add value in any of these areas, people will pay for it. Our world needs more good information, right? On fitness, health, nutrition, mindset. We need artsy people. We need creators. We need that, especially more than ever now because of what happened with the pandemic, right?
Right.
So we don't, you don't need the job. You just have it right now. And it's so funny when people are like, oh, well, I do need my job because it's security. No, it's not. You can get fired tomorrow.
Yeah.
Honestly, now you've given your power and your control to someone else's dream. You could lose that tomorrow. There's no security in that. Oh, but I have benefits. You could also pay for your own health insurance and have it under your own. You know, like there are other options. I just don't think we talk about it because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think
it wasn't taught growing up either.
No.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I'm sure y'all might have friends that are around you, especially like that late 20s, early 30s, you know, just overspend. And then they're stuck. They're like leveraged against their job. They can never even get out of it. They don't even have the chance to get out of it because they have too many bills or credit cards or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're living way above their means. And I think that isn't probably spoke enough to... I don't buy shit.
I talked
and somehow I'm still able to get shit done. Like,
well, I talked to my stepdad about it, and I remember even talking to him when I was going into college, and he was like, you all are growing up in a shit time. When I was growing up, he had graduated college and bought a home. Like, that is unheard of now. Like, being 18, 19, 20, or whatever, and like people owning homes was just like, that's not something that really people do these days. And he was like, everything was way more affordable back when he was growing up and coming up and becoming an adult and starting a family. Like nowadays it's just hard. Like so many people that are our parents' age that have kids like are still supporting their children. And like it's sad, but it's so like, I don't know, like I don't want to raise Reese in a world where like it's hard for her to like even, you know, do the simple things as like buying a home, which should be something that people are able to do. Like to give yourself shelter, I feel like should be something that's affordable. But it's just, I mean, even my apartment, I was paying like $1,700 a month for one bedroom.
That is wild.
Yeah,
you know,
that's crazy. That's
right
less that's more than a mortgage. Way more than a mortgage should be. Or is. Yeah.
I saw something that said 2002's median salary was $42,000 something. 2020's median salary was $54,000 something. 2002's median house cost mortgage was $198 something, and then 2020's $475.
Holy
shit!
Yeah, so we definitely have had.
But that's the thing is like the salary difference isn't keeping up with it.
No.
And it's hard. So, I mean, I'd have to make it in the blender. Yeah.
Damn.
You can make it on the rocks.
Yeah, get you one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, okay. But yeah, it's just not as easy, I guess. These days.
Keep using these words easy and hard, and I'm catching on to it.
I know.
We gotta like rewire our brains to go. Yeah. It's not about being easy and hard.
But I mean, imagine like my parents were like, I bought our house for under $200,000, and now they can sell it for over $500,000.
Exactly. So
it's wild.
That's what I was gonna say. Opportunity is always there.
Yeah.
It just shifts. Are we looking for it?
Yeah.
Or are we just looking for it where it was, right?
Right.
Like, are you missing it because you're
Right.
looking in only the place that you thought it was at? Because it just shifts sometimes.
Right.
And I think like what you're saying right now is like, there's people who are definitely booming off of what's happened in our economy.
Yeah.
And other people who are struggling, right?
Yeah.
So there's opportunity everywhere. We just have to be willing to go get it.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. Some people are benefiting.
And also, who says you have to buy a house? Let's get really
know.
uncomfortable, right? Like, who says you have to, like, go to college, buy a house, get married, have
Society.
kids?
True. I
Yeah.
mean, I for the longest time, and Sarah had more push on this house that we just purchased than me. I was like, I'm cool with renting for forever, or indefinitely at least, and only buying properties if we rent them. You know, that's because we could just get these houses to pay our rent, or a couple or whatever. Figure out a way to get stuff to just pay our own bills, so we can just pocket whatever we make at least, or at least save it, put it into other stuff. But she was adamant on getting a house. But also, the moment we got married, speaking of other societal norms, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, when are we having a kid now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
next
it's
step.
the
married.
biggest-
When are
it's the biggest
when are
question.
when are y'all having kids? Not just from the grandparents, but everybody around you. Oh, when are y'all having those kids?
Well, then you have
y'all
one,
need,
and then
y'all need a kid.
when are you having another?
When y'all,
We get that all the
sure.
time.
It's like,
So when
hey,
are you having
when are you
another?
going to take care of that motherfucker for
I
me?
know.
Or pay for it?
Yeah, you paying for all this? You gonna come in the middle of the night when she's screaming? Okay.
You guys should, you'd be shocked some of the questions I've got. When I say my husband and I have chosen not to have kids, they just, you don't
Which
like
is
kids?
unreal.
I'm
They
like,
should
I
get
love my
anybody.
nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Fine, love them.
Yeah.
I mean, he never wanted to have kids.
Yeah.
He's still like, I don't know.
over
It's
with
gonna
now.
need a long talk.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah,
need a
yeah.
long talk.
No, I get it. And like growing up, I always wanted to have like so many kids. And then like we had Reese, and she is so great. And then we're always like, well, she's real good. Like I don't think we really need to do it anymore,
Yeah.
But like, some people want to have 7 children. Some people don't want to have any, and that's okay. Like that is completely fine.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're envious. We're over here watching Peggy travel all over the place. I'm like, dang, I got a kid. I don't know. Like, somebody gonna watch
You
her?
and your kid.
Yeah.
Y'all are welcome on my trip.
Yeah.
We're actually, when we travel.
She's a
on
great sleeper. So.
when we travel in a couple weeks, we go with some friends who have taken their daughter since she was super little.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on these trips with them.
I
so.
know. And then now people are like, you can travel with a toddler. It is, you
Yeah,
are fully
you can.
capable of doing that. And I'm like, I know. Yeah, you're right. I could. Yeah.
I think it's the type, and like y'all, like we had in the last episode, y'all are like, I think y'all would be more adequate or like efficient with traveling with a baby or a youngster compared to most people. I don't know, because of the laid back and just like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it would be a good fit if y'all ever were able to do it.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
some
can book your
But
trips.
then we're like,
Hey.
we could have somebody watch her.
There you go. There you go.
Grandma can watch her. And then,
That's the move.
Yeah.
Actually,
No
have
offense
a
to
vacation.
Reese. She's great, but,
Yeah.
you know.
She'll have her time.
Yeah.
later.
It is wild, like, going from being, like, by yourself, like, you know, no responsibility other than taking care of your own self. And then all of a sudden you're like, dang, I got to make sure I keep a kid alive. Like, I can't forget about her, you know? I
Yeah.
can't just leave her at home.
It seems really risky, which is why I have decided not to
Yeah.
do it.
And, like, trust me, because sometimes people are like, well, you definitely should have more. And I'm like, I don't understand how people do it. Like, it's hard. And we have a good one. Like, I can't imagine having a bad one and, like, just continue. Your mom has 5 children.
Yeah.
Like,
And I can
and y'all
imagine.
are all different, so I just can't even.
I mean, the age range too. It's like
so
I'm sure.
different. Yeah.
I don't
Like
know.
that's the thing. Like, I feel like if we were to have another one, it would I would want it to be sooner rather than later because I don't want to have a 5-year-old and then have to do it
Have to-
all
Over.
over again. Like that would just be oh man,
Yeah.
you
You
know.
have to go. I don't know.
Too late.
Yeah.
Or you can go buy a full grown one. Get you a 16, 17-year-old one.
My mom, my aunt, and my uncle were all adopted.
Were they?
So yeah.
Nice.
Speaking of foster homes, my mom and my uncle were both in foster homes, but they were little. My mom was a baby when she got adopted, and then I think my uncle went through like a few.
Are we
but
talking like through a private organization or through like
no
a
idea.
government?
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah.
My aunt was adopted straight out of the hospital. But
Then that was probably through private.
yeah. But my grandfather was a minister, and my grandmother started the YWCA in Lynchburg, and like started all this like supporting women and like letting them come in and like, you know, helping them. So they were big. My grandfather also had polio when he was 6. So the left side of his body was like 3 years behind his right.
Yeah.
So he wasn't able to have children. So like him and my grandmother always knew that they were going to adopt. So they adopted 3.
My Sarah's mom was adopted, and this is just recently, which is a cool topic that is coming around like that. Is because it's intriguing the process she's going through, but she's almost 60, I think, like late 50s, and she's now finally trying to find her biological parents, because her foster parents have passed on in the past like 3 to 5 years, and now she's like, you know what? I want to see where I came from, what my heritage or culture was like, or whatever. And she hired like a PI of some sort, and found that she was like given away through some Catholic church type thing or foster home. Yeah. And they've been writing each other back and forth. She found the mom. The dad may have passed away. They're unsure, but yeah, the mom. And it's we get updates like every other couple of days of like how they've been communicating back and forth. It's just wild because there's so many questions that I have. It's like, man, why? And then we've sort of figured that out a little bit, but then also it's like there's other thing, I guess, personal things that nobody else would probably understand unless you had the whole concept. But it's just so many questions that I want to ask that I feel like I need to jump in and be like, man, what's, how did it all go down? Blah blah blah. But it's wild that it happens a lot more than you think.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And that's why and to each their own. But I feel like people should be adopting within our own country. But like that, it's so hard. Like it is so expensive and difficult and time consuming to adopt within the United States. But to go to a different country, it's way easier. Yeah. So that's what ends up happening. And then all of these children don't get adopted here. Yeah. But my aunt did. She reached out and found her biological mom, and like she kind of like wrote to them for a little bit. I think she like sent the kid, like my cousins, like gifts and stuff or whatever. My mom was like so against it. She was like, my parents raised me. Like they are my parents. Yeah. I was given up for a reason. She was like, I don't really care. So there were 2 completely different mindsets, which I respect both. But I think my mom did. She was like, she like went through the system, tried to find them, and she pretty sure that she found her mom or dad and called the phone number and got their voicemail, and they were like, hey y'all, we ain't here right now, but if you want to, and it was like, so my mom was like, I'm sorry, no, like,
never mind.
She was like, I'm dead. I'm okay. Yeah. Which is so, but like, awesome. I do think my grandparents were such great people that like, it made her be like, they're top notch. Like, I don't really want to find out, like, regardless, like it wasn't the right situation for them to keep me, and I got blessed with these people. So, but I think it is cool to like maybe find some lineage, like heritage stuff, and like,
anything about her like genetic history, risks of
cancers that run the family. Yeah.
I guess short story about hers is that, I think in Catholic, I don't know religions that well, but like Catholic, she had gotten pregnant when she was 16 and the parents in the church made her give it away. Yeah. That's the way
Catholicism is like hardcore, especially back then.
Yeah.
That's the problem my brother and I have, though. Like, now that he's having kids, we always talked about, like, we don't know much about our family history. That's the scary piece about it, but it's almost kind of cool. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'm creating.
Yeah.
I'm like creating.
You're the first, Yeah, that is cool.
And my story, like, through the foster care system and all that, like, I didn't tell a lot of people. One, it's just uncomfortable, and it's, like, really deep and sad and all the things, but 2, it was like, I didn't want it to be a part of my identity. I had created like so much more out of myself. Yeah.
But you're not playing it as a victim though.
No, but like I had people.
Some people would.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No.
Which is why she's the 2%.
2%.
Yeah.
2%.
Right.
Tattoo on your neck.
Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah.
But that's what's so like, I didn't want it to be a part of my identity for so long. And when I was at that retreat last year, that was like something that came up, and they were like, just because you like, the point of what happened to you isn't supposed to be a part of your identity. It's just supposed to be part of your purpose. And so I went through that CASA program. It's the court appointed special advocates program. I graduated. And so now I am legally allowed to advocate for kids or children in situations that I basically was in when I was little.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm not saying it's fun
what
by
does
no
that
means.
mean?
Yeah.
Like advocate, like you're going to court for them?
So go into the home, like kids that are placed in homes. I would go into the home and make sure that they're in a healthy environment. And if they're not, then
'Cause
I
a
would
lot
go
of-
to court and
yeah.
advocate for that.
A lot of
Gotcha.
foster
That's
homes
cool.
are just not okay.
Well, so that's why I was asking earlier the difference between like private and state or
Yeah.
or government kind of
But-
related.
Oh, well, there's a way to.
Government's in it, then I feel like a lot of people would be in it for the money.
Right. So the like first home my brother and I were in, that's what it was. The individuals that had us really just got a check from the government to keep us,
Yeah.
and they didn't take care of us. My brother, it was weird. The lady who had custody of us, she had diabetes, and so eventually she lost like her eyesight, and so
shit.
like we would bathe her and like feed her, and strange stuff, y'all.
Austin would not do it.
She would pick the one of two of us every day
Who's
to be
washing? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, my brother mainly did it. My brother mainly
Oh,
did
that's
it.
so
'Cause he's 4 years older than me, so-
right.
But like she would pick one of the two of us to be like her favorites for the day, or like her favorite for the day, and then the other one would get put in charge of scratching her back
Back duty.
and doing all the things for her. And so, and I'm not kidding you guys. Like,
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
it's
I'm
no.
sorry.
Hey, I
It's
laugh about
child
it now
abuse,
too.
but it's okay.
I laugh about it
fucked
now
up.
too.
Yeah.
That is fucked.
No, have y'all ever had something happen in your life, and when you go to tell the story, or you go like you lived it, but you're like, is this
Yeah,
real shit?
right.
Like, is this
Yeah.
real shit?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel when I tell some of these stories. But like, so I like, let's say I was in charge of scratching her back that day. I'd scratch her back while she was like napping or sleeping, and my brother would sneak out of the house and go like up the street 4 blocks where there was this little grocery store and get us food because she didn't feed us. Like, so we would take turns and do that, like to help each other and to survive.
And what age was this?
I mean, our entire childhood.
Oh, shit.
From when I was born, they already had custody of my brother, which thankfully I got put in the home, so we were together. And then at like age 11 for me, we got separated, which was really hard for me. And then when my brother turned 18, I went to a couple different homes without him. When he turned 18, he got custody of me, which that says a lot about him, right? And I don't know exactly where he got all of this character from, because we were both raised in such shitty environments, but
maybe that's what it was, though. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't imagine being 18 and be like, all right, well, I'm going to take care of both of us
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but he didn't want to leave you behind.
Well,
so-
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd at least get you out, but I'm like, all right, well, what do we do from here?
Yeah.
I got
I
you
know.
out. I'm supposed to be responsible for you, but
Damn.
what do we do next, Peggy?
So he got a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay. Jeez.
He helped me, like, because I was 14.
Yeah.
So within a couple years, he helped me get my first job, my first car. He helped me get my first apartment. I mean, he really was everything. Like,
Yeah.
my brother, my best friend, my father figure, everything. And, you know, I owe him a lot because I think he planted a lot of seeds that helped me get to where I am, no doubt. Like, he gets a lot of that credit.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly where he got it from, so I'm just proud of him.
And I am like, that is so awesome that you do have him, you know, because like a lot of people come up through the system, they don't have a sibling, or they get separated when they were really young and like they don't know each other or whatever. So that is like really awesome that you do have him, like, and that he obviously is a great brother.
Yeah.
And took care of you.
He is.
I just feel like that story should be told a lot more. Which obviously you just told it now, but I feel like you don't need to be like blasting it, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would really be like, "Damn, I don't really have real problems." You know?
Yeah, like,
Right.
my problems aren't
Yeah, I ain't got shit. You know.
I came up from a good home and
Yeah.
I still suck.
I held back on telling that story for so many
But you
years.
shouldn't.
In the last couple years, I've been a little more upfront about
Yeah.
it. And there's some very extreme details that I feel like.
Yeah.
So back to the CASA program.
Oh, yeah.
I did that because I felt like I had an advantage. If I go into these homes and I've been through this, I know it's a spot.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, the people that are in charge of these kids that aren't treating them the way they should be treating them, they know how to cover shit up.
Yeah.
They know how to hide shit.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have like a warning that you're coming, or you just show up? Randomly?
Well, so it just depends on the case and what's kind of reported and things like that. But yeah, legally we do have to. And but I can go to the schools where the kids are and chat with them there.
Which
and
is,
stuff like
that's
that.
really good. Yeah.
I get
away
all,
from them.
Permission for like medical records, school records, everything. I can talk to any of their counselors. I can,
I think it's nice too that luckily you are the way you are, because I feel like you're so approachable and like happy and positive. So like, because if it was like this big mean person coming to like, how is your situation at your house? Like, I'd be like, I don't know, you know, like you're so like approachable. So I feel like it makes them feel more comfortable instantly, or I would feel that way. But
me not having kids, it's like when people say things or question it or think I'm crazy, I'm like, there's just so many other ways I want to give. And when you guys were talking about like adoption and stuff, it's like if when I'm 37 or 38 or something and I'm, you know, like say I change my mind or I've evolved or something, I have the option to adopt and to do something amazing.
Always.
And find great purpose through that. For sure.
It's not like decisions like that aren't just like, you know, permanent or like make or break it. You know, like I feel like there's options all the time. We just ignore them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's, and just thinking deeper on like you being the advocate for these foster homes or these children, like just you being through it, obviously, you know, like what to look for, but like you probably know what to ask as well. Like that's probably even more important, you know, like what to truly, because if you keep like, hey, is everything okay?
Yeah.
I mean, they'll just be like, oh yeah, it's good. But like, I don't know, I'm sure you know like how to word things or like get into their head a little bit more than just somebody that's never been through that scenario or just somebody that's just getting paid a couple bucks to check in on these kids, you know.
Well, I was just like imagining like you walking up to them and be like, "Hey, you good?
You good? All right.
Peace. You eating? All right, cool. You want a muffin or something?
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's real cool that you're able to, or that's a thing. I would have never known.
Yeah.
My vision is like if I can get deep enough in it, is to actually help the teenagers, the 17, 18-year-olds that are coming out.
Yeah.
Because good God, if I had, I mean, if I didn't have my brother, right? Like, but like if I had some of the information I have today, like then I feel like it could just
life
be
changing.
So,
Yeah.
So that's my ultimate goal.
It would make that 2% go way
and these kids would not believe that they actually can do something.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I don't have a parent or a mom or a dad or whatever. I'm not going to be able to do shit. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But then they see your story or hear about that. They're like, damn, I actually can.
Yeah. This
something.
could be my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's possible.
You know,
Everybody that was involved in my life when I was a kid told me I was going to end up just like my mom, an alcoholic or an drug addict on the streets. I mean, that's literally what they were telling me. Like, I'm not kidding, guys.
Yeah.
Every day I had someone like pounding that into my head. And so I am extremely fortunate. Again, don't know what the heck happened.
Which is wild. Like, why would you ever tell a child, like, you will never amount to anything? And this is, I mean, like, obviously it's an internal suffering, whoever is saying it. Like, they have their own issues.
Yeah.
But, like, to tell anybody, let alone a kid, like, you're not going to be anything but an abusive, alcoholic piece of crap that does a bunch of drugs and, like, you know, can't go anywhere in life. That's wild.
Yeah.
It's crazy that is real life, you know?
Yeah.
It makes you feel like way fortunate for, you know, when you don't grow up like that, you know? Like,
well, and looking at my life today, I think that's where a lot of like my motivation comes from,
chip on the
because I've
shoulder
done
or
something,
type
man.
deal.
Yeah.
I have. I mean, I want to do a lot more. Let's get it. Let's,
Yeah.
you know.
Just getting started, yeah.
But
Yeah.
damn, like
Yeah.
all those people, it's a good ass feeling to be like, yeah, no, I'm not my mom.
Yeah.
However, my mom did have some badass work ethic when she was sober. So
Yeah.
that was,
Yeah.
I do
There had to
feel
have been
it.
something
Yeah.
there, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I think that's like the connective piece to fitness, health, and all that other stuff. It's like when I do go to the gym and I actually prove to myself, it's again that relationship you're building with yourself, right? Like I know I can.
Yeah.
Like I know I can. Like you start to really honestly build that relationship with yourself where like nothing else matters. And then all of the influence and all of the bullshit outside, like none of that can stop you. You start to take back your power and your control.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, like it's a pretty badass feeling.
Yeah.
For sure.
Talk about
I'm
talking about kids and work ethic. We went to field day today for your niece's field day.
Yeah.
Back in the day, field day was like competition. Like you,
Yeah, it was
like
a
who can
kickball.
do? Yeah, it was
a
like
kickball tournament.
but like everything, like
We had, like,
water
dodgeball,
balloon
kickball.
toss.
Oh, yeah, that too, the egg.
egg.
The egg and the ladle.
Yeah.
And like you win things,
No,
like
there
you
was,
win.
it was competition for sure.
It's not.
And shit. Now,
Today they
Hack-
had
there's no
they had
sack hop.
water bottles and they were squirting. They were running around squirting other kids with them.
Oh.
That was what they were doing at one of the things.
They had different stations, and one
Yeah.
of the stations we were at, they were just like, it was a station where they just sprayed each other with water bottles.
Yeah.
There was a station where they threw a baseball or softball as far as they could, but you still didn't get, like, you didn't win.
No winning.
No trophies, no nothing.
No winning. Yeah.
Everyone's a winner there.
Yeah.
And
Isn't
all
it
kinds of
wild?
shit.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have a lot of work to do with the up and coming as
Yes.
far as like putting in the effort and because this whole like
And it's not even like
The
that age.
competitiveness
It's like
is gone.
the
Yeah.
10 years even above that probably. Like the 12, 14, 15-year-olds, you know, are probably still in that same, brought up around that same, you know, I'm not much younger than y'all. Well, no, I'm older than you.
older than me.
Shit.
Bitch.
Well, anyways, I don't know.
Back down.
I mean, there's definitely competition.
Yeah.
And with everything you did, even like on recess,
yeah.
you were doing some
Who could
competitive
win
shit.
the- who
Yeah.
could win the
Foursquare,
mile?
yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
wasn't
mean,
even a competition.
Wasn't just it was everything was a competition.
I
usually.
still like healthy competition. You better if you curl in 35s, I'm going
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Peggy could be a part of the competition thing that we were talking
Yeah,
about.
she can.
We'll have to tell her about that.
Yeah. I'll have to tell you. But
Down low. I'm just kidding.
I think it was great having you on this show, Peggy, and hearing that story because I think it needs to be told a lot more than you think.
Yeah, for sure.
And I wanted to finish this show off with a cool little twist that I haven't done in a while. We're going to play a little card game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So randomly, we don't know what these cards say or what the questions are. Don't flip it.
I'm not.
So this is Answer the Internet from Barstool Sports, and it's a card game called Questions as Fucked Up as You Are. So we're only going to flip one at a time, and everybody's going to give their answer. And there's no really point to it. It's just seeing who has the most fucked up answer.
Did y'all set me up? I'm switching. I'm just
I don't know. Just randomly got it. And since you're the special guest, Peggy, you're going first.
Oh, man. Put me on the
Read it out loud.
Okay. Who would you want to represent you in a trial by combat?
Out of
Oh my
out
gosh.
of us, because I'm definitely out.
Definitely don't let her.
You don't want me.
Is it like
She cried when she stepped on a toy today.
You need to stop telling my secrets, okay? Who's sharp? First of all, I cried quietly in the corner in the kitchen, and he didn't even
Will you
see
shut
me.
up?
She stepped on one of the baby toys and I heard sniffling and I was like, "Are you all right?" And she was like, she hardly answered.
It was a combination. I had it, okay? She was crying at me. I was trying to clean. Anyway, it was a big thing.
Well, who would you who do you think you pick? And this doesn't have to be anybody in the room. It could be anybody in the world.
I can't remember that game, that like Nintendo game you would play where they would do fighting.
Oh, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Who was the girl in like the red dress?
Oh,
Was she redhead? No?
Redhead, maybe.
I don't know.
Anyways, that was the first thing that came to my head was somebody off of Mortal Kombat because I used to kick some ass in that with my
I remember
brother.
that on Sega.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
But
I don't know who I'd pick. Probably. I don't even know who I'd want. You know, there's so many options that are popping up in my head. I guess. What's that guy? Keanu Reeves.
oh yeah,
And
John Wick?
Matrix?
John Wick. John
No,
Wick.
John
Well,
Wick.
I'd take him too. Either one, whatever he's feeling. If he's feeling Matrix, yeah. Wow, yeah, no, I've seen that.
I think I was gonna go with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Damn, yeah, he's good too, but he ain't shooting no guns.
I
though.
no, I mean,
Hit him with the splits.
I think I would pick Chuck Liddell. I used to be really into UFC back in the day, and Chuck Liddell was my favorite fighter. And
Chuck Liddell he's a
Iceman.
savage.
Yeah, I would pick him.
Savage.
We just watched a movie and he was in it too, and I can't remember what it was. Entourage. Yeah. The
It's
show.
been forever since I've seen that. That's
Yeah.
so good. I heard they're bringing it back.
Are they?
I thought they're going to
We
do
just-
I think.
I don't know if he's ever like seen it all the way through, but I have multiple times because I love that show so much. But yeah, I think I would pick Chuck Liddell.
Good pick.
All right, thanks.
All right. Yeah, here we go.
Oh God.
Would you? So this is poll the internet, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Would you switch your penis size with your foot size?
That's a good one.
Well,
Would you switch your penis size with your foot size? Of course, girth and all. Fucking.
I mean,
no woman wants that.
But looking down at that,
I mean,
your shorts. You,
yeah,
you
my
have to
short.
get special.
How wide is your foot?
Let's see it.
The big. I got the.
Giving birth.
It's a 12. It's a 12 foot. I don't know if that's inches.
I wear like a 10.5, man.
Oh, yeah, 10 and a half.
It's still bigger than what I'm working with.
But I don't know if I want it for life though. It'd probably be a curse.
I think it'd be cool for like give me
Cheryl
like
would die. She would never have sex.
You will
with me.
die.
Look, he's
I
like,
said
"Are
it
you
right."
reading it right?"
59% of Barstool readers said
Say
yes.
no.
I just want to know what's up with guys wanting that kind of
Yeah.
size
Well, I
penis.
just
Like,
you want to look down. I mean, hey, just for a little bit.
have
Well,
you seen
I'm
what
definitely not
have you
going to
seen
cycle
what's
with
on the
that.
internet?
I'd have to have its own bag.
Yeah.
Just a little bag off the side.
No, I feel like you have to flop it up.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
just tuck it up in my like. I don't
Give
roll
it
it.
to the seat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Alright.
Are you not gonna answer the
I
question?
mean, I think. Well, I mean, I thought we weren't. I thought we. I mean, I think it. Like I said, it'd be cool for like a trial run.
Yeah,
be cool
a week,
without
7-day
it.
I mean,
period.
if I like had this fucking hog, I just pull out and like, hey,
I would- you know
I would,
what-
I would wear, I would show everybody.
But that's what I was about to say. I would just be like, "Yo, check this out,"
Yeah, look, hey, look,
and I'd whip it up.
whoop, just throw it on the table everywhere I go.
It'd be a party trick.
It'd be
Be
like,
arrested in minutes.
it's okay.
Seconds.
Yeah, seconds.
They're gonna see it in jail too. Like, hey, everybody, check this out.
Like, yo, that dude, don't mess with him, man.
Anyways, so yeah, that's my answer.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's see if
Can you
I can
read?
this? I can try. Which is a cockier thing to say? You never outkick your coverage, or you always outkick your coverage?
Get it.
What's coverage? First off, like football.
I guess so. Yeah. Which is a cockier thing to say? You never outkick your coverage, or you always outkick your coverage. I don't know.
I don't know. That's a
Do we
bad
have
one.
a replacement
I
card?
Okay, well, Hallie, you go to yours. We'll come back to Jake.
62% always said always.
This one's not very good either.
All right, coming at you.
Okay. I mean, I'll say it.
Jake picked them.
I picked random.
This
cards
one's,
that didn't
how
read
would you rank the 4 major sports playoffs? That's stupid.
No.
Okay.
Never. Jake,
You want to go?
hit it.
it. All right. Let's see.
This one's not good either.
Would you rather have a girl who talked a lot during sex, or a girl who was completely silent during it?
Ooh, good question.
That is a good question.
I am gonna go with a girl who talked a lot.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because silence is weird. Like giving her your best moves and there's not a
just-
peep.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'm gonna need the talking, but I don't need conversation though either. Though I don't need to be like, hey.
He'd be like, "Shut
How was your
up."
day?
yeah, what you
What are we
happened?
talking about during sex? That's
you know how you can quiet her down.
Hey, that size 12
That
penis.
foot-sized penis.
yeah. If you never want her to speak again, do that. Yeah. Just kill her. I'm assuming those questions you guys are the only ones that can answer. But poll the internet. Would you rather A, leave a date with a hot chick for 10 minutes to take a shit, or B, hold it in and hope for the best?
All right.
Ooh.
I feel like this is also just for boys to answer,
you're-
but
But I mean, you can
Okay,
answer if you're going with a
yeah.
hot dude.
hot dude, yeah.
So you're leaving him or her to go take a dump
Or I'm leaving, yeah.
for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm
No, I
taking
leave a
dump.
date with a hot chick.
Yeah,
When they're sweating it out.
yeah, a swamp ass.
That's very uncomfortable. Like,
I feel like if I can't trust my date just for 10 minutes, like,
But then also, I think the second question that comes in for
Yeah.
me is
Hold
it
it
at
in
their
with the
house
best.
or is it out and about?
I mean, you leave somebody on a date for 10 minutes, they're like, what the fuck's going on?
But you have a good way of being able to like claim that you didn't go take a dump for 10 minutes if you was out. But, oh, I ran into so and so at the bar, or whatever. But if it's at their house.
I mean, I
you
feel like
just-
the first time I went to Jake's house, he definitely probably left me to take a shit for 10 minutes.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah.
He probably
point.
told me, though. He was probably like, I really got to go take a shit. Like,
I lived in a shed that was like 500 square foot. You could hear everything in that house. There was no hiding it.
yeah.
By the way,
fan.
put some earmuffs
no
on.
fan.
Yeah.
No fan in there. It's just...
I really feel like I would be fine leaving.
All right,
You know?
that's good.
I already
That's
said
Oh,
I'm
yeah, she
taking a
did.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta go. You gotta go. Just be honest.
I'm
about
much
it.
faster than 10 minutes, though.
Yeah, I know. 10 minutes.
Damn, you've got them guts hurting.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh.
Well, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this episode.
Wait, you didn't answer.
I said no. I thought I said it depends on if it's the house, but yes, I'm gonna
You
leave.
didn't answer.
I'm leaving.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on how bad my stomach hurts. I mean,
If it's, I don't know, if it's at the house and it's like first date, probably not. But if it's out and about, yeah, I'm definitely going. But I don't want to like blow up the
yeah,
house.
I think you're right. I think if I got shit that bad, then I got shit.
And I'll be like,
we're
hey,
going.
I'll see you next time. Mom just called. I gotta go.
Oh, you got questions?
I got a couple of questions,
Yeah,
but
what's up?
they don't really. Oh, it's from Carol.
Oh,
You met Carol. She said, "When are you moving to Lynchburg? which because she's like been trying to
For you?
Yeah,
Oh.
I was born and raised in Lynchburg, and I left 9 years ago I moved to Richmond, and she like has been holding this against me ever since because when I lived in Lynchburg right before I moved, I was planning on moving in with her. Like we had talked about it. We never like found any place, and then I moved and left her for 9 years. So, we're not moving to Lynchburg at least anytime in the near future because we are actually looking to build a home. And then she also, I already told Jake this question to prepare him, but she said, "When is Jake proposing, and am I going to be the matron of honor?"
I did have that same question
Oh,
when you were proposing.
Go do it live. We're doing it live.
Yeah, you know the who knows what's in the future.
You're still on,
I don't know what the future holds.
you're still on probation.
Still working on my dream.
It's not to marry me, so
Yeah, it better be.
Yeah.
You got real red on that one.
I tell him all the time. I'm like, "You're blessed. You lucky to have me. Remember that."
Luckiest man alive.
Yeah.
Piece of shit. Ain't nobody like you. You'll never get anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad Carol
Yeah.
chimed in.
Yeah, she did.
I did get a question, but it's kind of dumb. Which it kind of is, but like on the topic of dumping,
Dumping.
bidet or smeared. He said he worded it as dirty ass. Bidet or dirty ass.
Was it Griffin?
Bidet, yeah.
Bidet.
Yeah.
Was it Griffin?
No,
Yes,
it
I
was
wish-
Brock. I never used a bidet until I met Brock.
Oh, that's right. They have one.
I remember you
They
guys
had one at
talking
the
about
gym.
this on
At
an old
legit.
podcast.
Iron built.
Oh.
Never used it.
I did. No, every time.
I heard
After
it
they
is
put it
great.
in, every time. No, it's great.
It
I
really
heard it's
cleans your
great.
ass?
Really great.
Brock put that in.
Brock put them in.
Oh, I
He put them in the
thought we were
female.
there.
No, he put them in the female and males. The
Yeah.
females, and he noticed the females never used the bidet. I don't know if that's like a thing.
I mean, it's not. My grandfather had a bidet, like a separate one
Like a
though, not
sink
like an
bidet?
attachment. Like they had a toilet and a bidet
I would
right next
like
to
that.
it.
I like the American bidet where it's the
Yeah.
toilet all in one.
And I never understood what it was growing up until I got older, and I was like, "What in the
Until
world?"
you hit it, it's a different. It's a different
Now,
ride.
now I wish I tried it.
It's a different ride.
Man.
I feel like I would definitely try it. I would be up for it if it really, did a good job.
Oh, it does.
Saves you
and
on some toilet paper.
that too. You didn't need much. Just pretty much to pat down,
Dry
dry up. There was maybe TMI. The ones that Iron built. I don't know if it's because it was like industrial warehouse. The water pressure. If you hit it full blast, you might cut a new hole in there.
That's
I would be
scary.
scared about
It was
that.
like
Yeah.
laser.
Yeah.
But it was nice. It was nice. If you dialed it in just
Yeah.
right, a little finesse,
Oh
it would
my
get it right.
Yeah.
You used
I
it
also
a
just
lot.
don't like the other option, so I would pick bidet.
Yeah, for sure. I think I might get one for the house.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been a while. Get back
He
on-
misses it.
if we go if I get one,
Yeah.
we can go and I think they have like a package on. I think it's called Tushy,
Oh.
is the brand.
Okay.
I can refer you. I get $20 or something or 20. I don't know,
So-
20% off. So like if we all
Yeah.
go in on Tushies,
Great.
Okay.
we can save up. Bulk
I'm
deal.
down. I have 2 toilets, so.
Yeah. This show.
All right, we ended on a
All
weird
right,
note. I'm
this is
sorry.
All right, guys. Well, if you got some type of entertainment or value out of it, please share it. Let us know what you think in the comments below about
Yeah.
some of these questions, what you would have picked. And Peggy, thank you for coming out.
Thank you guys for having me. I
Of
love you.
course. Love you.
All right, guys. We are out. See y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.